Now to reinstall the carb, grab your air breather cover. Make sure that the throttle mechanism is pointing up. Insert these two screws into the carburetor, just like that. Now you want to insert your throttle cable by having the side with the notch for the cable pointing away from the cable. Insert the cable in there like that, pull, and it's in. At this point here, you would line up the two screws that go through the carburetor onto the manifold here. Make sure no fuel lines are in the way. Now you can start tightening up the screws. And again, tighten them on evenly by snugging one, tightening the other, and then tightening the other one after. Check your throttle cable to make sure it's working fine. And if it works like this, then you've put it on properly. Hook up the fuel line. Just basically insert it in like that. If you notice that the line's a bit loose like it is on mine, just grab a pair of pliers and snip a bit off so that when you reinsert it, it's going to be tighter. So I'm just going to snip off a bit. If your line's too short after you've done this, just pull it out of the tank for the amount that you need out. And now when I put it on, it's much tighter. What I've seen happen in the past is if these lines get loose there, is the carburetor is very hard to adjust, and after a while it just won't run right because there's an air leak and a fuel leak there going on. Now after you've put this all back together, the carburetor is going to be dry of fuel. So what I do is I grab my penetrating oil, which is flammable. It's kind of like quick start as well, and I spray some into the carburetor because there's no primer on this machine and it's going to save me a lot of pulling. So I'm going to adjust the carburetor for now without the air filter cover on, see if it runs good. Then I'll stick the cover on and do a final adjusting. Now that I got the fuel flowing in the carb, I'm just going to install the air filter and then adjust the carburetor properly. Before I adjust this carburetor, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. This is the L screw on the left and that's the high screw on the right. I will adjust the high screw while I'm revving the machine up at full throttle, and I'm going to hold it full, and then I'm going to turn the screw till I get the happy medium. So when I get the happy medium, you're going to hear the engine rev a lot better, a lot faster, and it won't die when I go to throttle up. It's going to actually be pretty responsive. And then this screw here on the left, I'm going to adjust that when the motor's idling, and I'm going to adjust it until it's got a happy medium where I know the motor's not going to die out, doesn't feel like it's going to die out, and it's a nice strong idling. And then this is the final adjusting screw for the idle, and that screw there, you would only adjust this after you've done these two, and this is simply to make your engine idle faster or slower. You would turn it in to make it idle faster, would turn it out to make it idle slower. So I'm going to start it up now, and I'm going to start by adjusting the H screw and then the L screw. the machine here to idle so that the stringer head stops turning, because this unit does have a clutch. So I've got the L screw set at a turn and a half and the H screw set at 1 turn. It may vary on your machine, but that's a good guideline to go by. Anyways, thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.